I believe in my heart and soul that I was born on this earth to fight. I fell upon fighting, I guess by accident, really. One of my best friends, Josh Keanu, started funny at 9th grade. He's this big, goofy-looking kid. He's like 6'3", 6'4", maybe, 185 pounds, 200 pounds, like a big, goofy kid. In 9th grade, I remember seeing him. He had this mohawk, this blue mohawk, and the gel he was using wasn't holding it, so he looked like a rooster. So I wasn't even fighting yet. I was just like, look at this guy. I'd probably beat him up or something, you know? Like, I'd probably beat this kid up, whatever. 1 year later, 10th grade, we become friends somehow. We were in the same class, we become good friends. He told me he's a kickboxer. He told me, I was sleeping over his house, one of his coaches was over, and I was hitting the speed bag, and they said, hey, you should come out to training. First day I go, I spar him. That guy beat me up with one punch. Thank God I didn't call this guy out in 9th grade, because I would have been the laughing stock of school till our senior year, you know? So, yeah, he beat me up with one punch now. Just one punch is the jab. He just kept jabbing. He's a long, lengthy kid. He just kept jabbing me. I swear he jabbed my face off, but it was crazy. And then Thursday came, and the coach asked me, hey, you want to fight Saturday? Somebody in your weight class just dropped out, and they're looking for a new guy, and it's a new guy fighting. And I was like, sure, why not? You know what I mean? You know, I was 16 and like $35 was the ticket. I was going to the fight anyway, and I was gonna buy a ticket for $35. So I was thinking like, $35 or get in a fight, get against a new guy, and we get in there and we do the damn thing, you know? And I went out there, I trained. That was Wednesday, trained Thursday. Friday we weighed in. Saturday we fought. I ended up winning the fight. I don't know how, but I ended up doing it. And this is when K1 was like hot. Like K1 is this kickboxing show that was in Japan, and it was just crazy. It was big. I remember going to school the next day and just telling everybody, I'm gonna be a K1 kickboxer. 2 years later, we was becoming seniors, and that's the whole BJ Penn era. I saw him fighting, and I heard his pay that he was making in one day, and I was like, wow. I was like, I want to be an MMA fighter. This is what I want. I want to be a UFC fighter. I started telling everybody my senior year, and then we got there. After high school, I moved to Iowa. I knew I was gonna fight. We had an opportunity to go train and whatever. We was gonna open up a gym or something. It was crazy, but a bunch of things fell through. And I remember living there for 4 months. We didn't have heat in the house. So I was dressing like I was going to, in Hawaii, we got this place called Ice Palace, it's ice skating. And I would dress like every night like I was going to Ice Palace to go sleep. You know, like you watch Disney Channel movies, you know, like Hocus Pocus or Halloween Town, and you see guys teepeeing houses. And I remember Halloween day, we wake up, one of my friends' parents' house just teepeed. I was like, they really do this shit up here? Like, what is going on? You know, like, it was like, it's just brand new, like, it's real. It's like, you know, in Hawaii, you don't see, like, you don't see that stuff. Like, I never ever saw that stuff. Growing up, I didn't have a father. I was raised by my grandma and grandpa. My mom was always there, but she wasn't, you know, she was into drugs and stuff. My dad, he was kind of like not there at all, really. Like he's in and out of my life, and then after 10, I never ever saw him. I always told myself, whenever I have a kid, I'm not gonna ever be out of his life. That's why I'm here today, though, if that makes sense. Like I was pushed to a certain point because he wasn't there, and I got to use that to push me, you know what I mean? But if you ask any UFC guy, you know, for all you guys out there, you guys don't believe me, ask any UFC fan that watches UFC, and you ask them, who's the daddest man on the planet? You're looking at him right now. January 4th, 2012, we was in the hospital. 10:03 in the morning, I got an email, and it was the UFC contract. You know, I signed it, sent it back, and then at like 3:03, this little booger pops out, and I was like, what is this? You know, like, like you just feel all these emotions, and you're just like, there's no way I could ever love anything more than this, or I can, like, there's no way, like, you know, I love my grandma, I loved my grandpa. I was like, there's no way, there's nobody I'm ever gonna fucking love like this, you know? That's just what I thought, you know? And then it just pushed me to be great. Just 1 month later, we got it. I was a short notice fight, you know? Somebody fell out. and it was a big, the guy's name was pretty big. His name was Dustin Poirier. He was, I didn't know, I think at the time I fought him, I think he was like number 5 or something in the world, number 6 in the world. I didn't care who he was, you know, I was a young buck. And we was the headliner for the prelims. When we was in the back, I remember watching and just seeing and just being like, oh man, like not that much people. So I was thinking like, okay, this is like another fight for me, you know, not too much people in the crowd, we'd be right, we'd be fine. Nope, everybody shows up right before the pay-per-view card. So we walk out. I remember Bruce Buffer, you know, watching the fights, you know, you imagine this guy, you know, you daydream of this guy, you dream of this guy saying your name. I remember he butchered Why Not Hawaii by, like, he said Why Not or something, which was like, oh my gosh, that kind of kept me standing. But when he was saying my name, yeah, I actually felt weak in the knees. I thought I was gonna faint. I was like, oh my gosh, I was telling my backs, you're on national TV, bro. You can't be fainting on TV right now. Be like, get it together, you know? So I ended up losing. I ended up getting tapped down the first round. It was a turning point for me, and it was great, you know? A loss is only a loss if you don't learn, and I learned. The neighborhood I'm from, the town I'm from, we're known for fighting, you know? There's a joke going around. My high school was the first UFC gym on the island, is what they said, just because of how much fights and stuff went on. But it's not where you train, it's not the place you train, it's how you train. Let's just look at NFL for instance. When you're Pop Warner, you're hitting. When you're high school, in practice, you're hitting. When you're college, it's kind of, depending on what college you goes, your hitting still. But when you go to the pros, they don't ever hit at practice. Why? People don't believe me to today, but I don't spar. You know, like sparring, like I don't spar. Why take unnecessary hurting? I have wars in my gym more than I have wars in the fight, you know? Like, and I understand you need it. Like, there's a certain point where you do need sparring. Training for MMA, for mixed martial arts, a lot of people always said that you're not gonna get the training that you need in Hawaii. You need to move. I always told myself, there's no way. There's no way that is true. Like I pride myself in being like, I'm actually gonna stay home, I'm gonna have my camp, I'm gonna have my team, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna prove people wrong. It wasn't because I was scared to go train somewhere else, I was scared to leave. It's like I had something to prove. I was like, you guys saying that I can't do it from here? Okay, you guys just watch. The nickname before was Little Evil, Jens Pulver. He was one of my favorite fighters at the time, and I wanted a nickname because of him, so I had that nickname for a while, and then my first 4 pro MMA fights, I was known as Little Evil. I remember after one of these fights in Hawaii, I was on Maui, and a fan, like, that's a random guy, I don't know who it was, he just walked up to me, hey, can I talk to you real quick? I was like, yeah. He's like, I don't get it. I was like, what don't you get? He's like, you fight for God's Army, right? That was the team I fight for at the time. And I was like, yeah? He's like, oh, okay. You believe in God and stuff, right? I was like, yeah, I go to church and whatever and this and that. And he's like, then why is your name Little Evil? And he left. And I was like, what the hell? And then I remember going, I won that fight. I went training like the next day. And I was talking to my coach, and my coach at the time, my old coach, and I just told him, bruh, I can't be Little Evil fighting out of God's Army. It makes no sense. Like, it was just stewing with me for a long time, you know, and like staying with me. And he was like, nah, bruh, no, this and that, bruh, Little Evil, I gave you the nickname because of this, and Jens, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but it just don't add up. And he was like, you know what? I'll think about it. 1 week went later, I came back training. I remember walking in, I'm like, what? Where's you got my name yet? He's like, man, I got no name. I was like, what? So I can't think of nothing. I was like, bro, like, well, how can you not name me? You know, you're quick with these, like you have it, you know? And he's like, well, I can't name you. The only word that keeps popping out of my mind is bless. And I was like, I take it. He's like, you take what? I was like, I take the name bless. And he's like, well, I guess it's a nickname now. I'm not supposed to be here, you know? One of the things that motivated me a lot was seeing from the little town I was, how much talent these guys had, you know? Like, you see these guys, top high school athletes, this and that, they go find a job, and then every Friday after their regular job, they get the beers and they talk about what they did in high school. I always didn't want to be that guy. I was like, I got 5 UFC belts at my house, I got 5 of them. They're not hanging out anywhere. They're in the case and they're in my closet, Like I don't have to show them off. I don't have to tell anybody I have them because the belt don't mean nothing to me. I always tell everybody, like, I don't care. When I pass away, that belt is gone. I don't know who's gonna have it, my son, maybe my son's son. I don't have the belt. People still come, hey, champ. I'm more happy with the legacy, I guess, that comes with it. I'll tell you straight up, like, I wasn't the most talented, gifted person ever. Some people would say, no, you was, and some other people would say, yeah, you're right, but I truly believe everything I ever got in life is I worked hard for it. And I always tell people all the time, it's just because someone's telling you you can't do something, it's because someone told them and they believed it. Whenever somebody came up to me and told me I couldn't do this, I'd be like, cool story, cool, thank you for your input, but just watch me. I'm gonna continue to prove you wrong, And if you was right, I see you somewhere later on in life, I'll tell you, bro, you was right, or sis, you was right, whatever. But till then, keep watching. People ask, why me? Why am I the lucky one or whatever to get here? No, but why not? Why not you?